So today I'm going to speak with my lovely student Silvia. Hello, Silvia.
Hi, Sarah.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. It's lovely to be talking to you.
It's lovely talking with you too. Where are you from, Silvia?
I'm from Italy.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm from Verona.
And you have just passed which exam?
The CPE?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Congratulations.
I passed it. Thank you very much. Yeah.
And passed with a B as well.
Yes. Yeah. Oh.
How do you feel with that result?
Oh, very proud of myself, I have to say. I'm very happy. I'm still on cloud 9 at the moment.
Good, you should be.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a chat about preparing for CPE and about taking the exam, and also a little bit about motivation levels, because CPE is super tough.
It
I
is.
think.
Yeah,
for
anybody.
Really. So how long did you spend preparing for CPE?
Well, 15 to 16 months, I have to say. Yeah, I started my preparation when the pandemic spread, so in February 2020.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning something, even though past exam at the beginning of June. Beginning of June. So.
And you were, or I told you that you were already at C2 as we started preparing. I guess the question is, sometimes people are under the level for the exam, but they want to prepare for the exam. But it took you that time, starting from C2, to get ready for the CPE exam.
Yes, of course. As if you want to pass the exam with such a score at B, you need to be preparing for each task. You need to know the exam as the back of your hand.
Yeah.
So, it took 15 months for this reason, as I needed to get used to each single task, get familiar to them.
It's a big exam. Really,
it is. Not only is it challenging, but it is also grueling, Sarah. So, it is tiring at times.
How much time were you studying for every week, roughly, do you think?
Roughly, 8 to 10 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to do the maths, I have to say. Well, consider 40 to 50 minutes every day, just extensive listening to podcasts. While commuting, driving my car, doing the ironing, having breakfast. And then reading something like 20 minutes every day, and having our weekly lesson on Saturdays. And then consider that my weekends were all devoted to my preparation. So I spent something like 2 to 3 hours every weekend. So in total 10 hours on average per week.
And it's interesting that you're including extensive listening and extensive reading in that. Do you feel that those extensive skills were really helpful for you?
Essential, vital for my preparation, as you have to know lots of different words, collocations, verb phrases, and all this stuff. And the best thing is be immersed, and get familiar to any kind of topic. And this is why, listen a lot, write a lot, read a lot if you want to pass such a intense exam.
That's cool, because my next question was, what's your top tip for preparing for CPE?
It's a great question, I have to say. I have, let's say, 3 main suggestions, Sarah. One is psychological, and it is really important, it's vital, is spread the word. When you decide to embark on this kind of journey, spread the word. Let your friends and family know what you are about to start. Because as I told you, the exam is challenging, is time consuming, the preparation is grueling. So you are going to need all the support and help and the love of your friends and family. So first of all, just let people know what you are about to do. And secondly, go and find a skillful, very well prepared, a trained teacher. You know, it is of paramount importance. This is really essential. As teachers, they help you through each part of the exam. They give you their tips. Sarah, you helped me a lot with strategy, a lot. And then you gave me feedback. As a student, you always need to get feedback and know your weaknesses and your strengths. And how to do this? With a very good and prepared teacher, trained teacher. So I have someone to suggest if you like for all your students. Yeah, no, really, really, this is my top tip. And then obviously surround yourself. So try to create an English bubble all around yourself. Surround yourself with English, listen a lot, watch TV shows, read a lot, try to speak on a regular basis with other peers. And I was so lucky I met such good people out there, and we practiced a lot. And to me, it was really essential. These are, my main tips.
Practice.
And
practicing without a teacher, with a teacher
as well. Well, with the teacher is great, as you need to know, your weaknesses and where you are very good at, and you need to tackle each task, okay, and do each exercise as Cambridge asks you to do, and then go and practice with other peers, as you have a lot to learn. Just practicing with other people, of course. Non-native people, doesn't matter.
No,
doesn't matter,
no.
really.
It doesn't matter. You just need other people to practice with, so that you can practice and practice and practice and practice and practice and practice as much as possible.
As much
Absolutely.
as possible.
Absolutely. So if we move on to talking about the actual exam, did you take CPE, the computer version or the paper version?
Yeah, I took the computer-based version of the exam, as at that time in May, the school only offered the computer-based versions. And, you know, I prepared on paper, okay? I used to spend most of my time writing my essays by hand. And all of a sudden, I had to prepare for the computer-based exam. And I did it by using the mock tests, which are available on Cambridge website. And well, I suggest anyone to do the computer-based. That it is so simple. It is possible even to paste and highlight things. This was my main concern just before taking the computer-based exam, having the possibility to highlight my essay, the article, or even the listening exercises. You have to highlight things if you want to remember them. So I did it. Yeah, I highly recommend taking the computer-based version rather than the paper version, as the paper version might be time-consuming, especially if you are writing the essay.
That's really interesting, because I remember when we first started talking about this, and you were quite resistant.
Yeah, super resistant, I have to say. It was scary when they say, okay, there's the only opportunity for you is to do the computer-based exam. Otherwise, you have to wait until August or September, I don't know. Okay, I thought to myself, okay, be brave, try it. Anyway, you can try it again if you failed it.
Yeah, I think you did say that at some point, and I thought, I don't think she's going to fail. So on the actual day itself, it's a very, very long day. It's a very long exam.
A long day. It is.
What for you was the most difficult or challenging part of that day?
Well, before taking the exam, I thought the writing. Okay, the writing part, as writing the essay is something difficult and challenging. It takes time. You have to limit yourself. You have to time yourself. But the day of the exam, the writing went very well. But the listening was quite difficult, Sarah. For two main reasons. Well, we weren't the only students taking the exam at that day. There were lots of young students committed in their Spanish exams, so it was a little bit noisy. I didn't get distracted by the noise, I have to say, but I was a little bit concerned that they might have affected my understanding in a way. It didn't happen. Well, this is a good thing. But then the questions were different from the question I was used to during my CPE preparation. Questions were slightly psychological. The two, there are, at some point, there are 4 different answers, and 2 of them were so similar. And I got a little bit nervous at that point. But then, this was the most challenging task for me, to be honest with you.
I think CPE listening is really tough.
Yeah, and it comes after the writing, it comes after the reading. So by 12 o'clock, you are starving and you are supposed to have this 40-minute long exam. So,
It's a long
yeah,
day.
it's a long day.
And before we started making this video, we were chatting and you told me a little bit about your speaking partner. So obviously for a lot of people who take these Cambridge exams, you have no control over who your partner is going to be. And you meet them on the day and you're like, oh, okay, let's go and do a little thing together. How was that, working with someone that you'd never met before?
Oh, it was probably... There were less pressure on me, as I didn't have to demonstrate anything to him, as we didn't know each other before the exam. But at the very beginning, it was a little bit weird, as my partner was a little bit shy and introvert and nervous and rigid. But then everything went well. I believe when we started working together and, doing this kind of ping pong game, it went well. But at the very beginning, he was so nervous. I wasn't able to talk to him before the exam, as he didn't want to speak with me, probably because he was too nervous. He was revising in his head. So, I respected him, of course. It was his choice, and but it went well. I believe it is extremely important to be relaxed, before entering the exam, as the examiners are, they know what you are going to feel. So don't be concerned about this.
And they're usually very nice.
They are, indeed. They are, They kept smiling under their face mask. Yeah, you can see it. You can see it from
the eyes.
Their eyes. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So finally, let's talk a little bit about motivation and why did you do this to yourself?
No.
You didn't have to.
No, I didn't have to. And you know what? I had my master's degree 12 years ago. Okay. And in order to pass my master's degree, I had to certificate my English, C2. So I have a C2 level of English, of course. But then at some point, probably when the pandemic spread, I realized I wanted something more. At that time, I wanted to challenge my English as I don't know, I wasn't that fluent. I used to be very fluent in the past, I have to say. And then for some reason, this kind of fluency dropped a bit. Oh, this is just my feeling, my impression of my language. I don't know. This is when I decided to take the CPE exam. I believe when you have a goal to achieve, your motivation rises accordingly. And this is why I decided.
Definitely. And I've seen that quite often with students who have decided to work for an exam when they don't actually have to, And it's like rocket fuel for that student.
Yeah,
Suddenly
yeah,
like,
it is.
right,
Yeah.
I've got to do all this stuff. So do you feel that your English has changed as a result of CPE?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, especially in the writing, I'm aware of my level of writing now. I know how to tackle an essay. I know how to write an article, a blog article now. I'm more confident with this strange structure of the language, inversion, conditionals, all this stuff. And I like it. I have to say that I really like writing now. And it is something that I improved during the preparation, probably.
Yeah. And I think it's really important to bear that in mind, that when we work for an exam, yeah, it's lovely to get the exam and it's lovely to pass, and that's great. But actually, what's at least as important is all the stuff that you learn and develop on the way to passing that exam.
Of course, of course.
Because that's what you take with you afterwards.
Yes.
All that knowledge and all that skill and all that, everything that you've learned through doing CPE.
Yeah, it is so complete and so complex, and it's fantastic. And you know what? The C2 I took at the exam, it was nowhere near as complex and as complete as it was the CPE with Cambridge School. I don't know why, but the kind of C2 you have at the exam at the university is different in some ways. Yeah, it is a different certification. You have a very different level. I believe it is lower than the one you have to develop in order to pass CPE. With
Cambridge are really good at designing exams.
Yeah.
They're really good at it. You'll find out when you do your teacher training.
What a preparation, what a training. I highly suggest it. It's so good, so challenging, so rewarding in a way, so rewarding. And I enjoyed turning the pages of the 3 books I bought. I bought 3 books to prepare this exam, and they are all so good, really, so useful. Yeah. I'm still reading them. Can you tell? Yeah.
How did you maintain your energy and motivation through all of those 15, 16 months?
Yeah, as I told you at the very beginning, the support of my boyfriend in the first place, the support of my teacher and of my friends. Yeah, this was my main motivation. Whenever you spread the word, that there are out there many people who are constantly asking you, how is your preparation? When are you supposed to have your exam? And this is probably the fuel for your preparation in general. And then having a goal. My goal is to become a full-time teacher, in the future. I mean, so this counts a lot.
Cool. Sylvia, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on CPE.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much for having me here.
Congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you.